What's up, berserker patriot store family? So I was right earlier. I don't know why my live just got cut off, but I re-went live and it let me. So, yeah, it is what it is, right? Shit's happening big. So for those of you that don't know, we'll recap. Earlier, hours ago, right when Donald Trump had a second assassination attempt against his life, I reported on it. And everything they're now coming out with is all the information I gave you guys hours ago. So you're welcome. I hope you enjoyed the content and the truth and exposing the fake news for telling you lies, like they always do. And still right now, they're telling you lies. They're telling you it might have been an assassination attempt. No, it was. We know for a fact it was an assassination attempt. Okay. A man with an AK-47 with a long-distance scope on it had it through the fence pointing in the direction of Donald Trump. Secret Service saw the barrel of the rifle in the scope. They fired at him. Okay. Then he ran. Got to I-95, jumped in his car, took off. Like I said, a witness saw that. They eventually caught him, and they found ceramic tiles, 2 backpacks with stuff in it. This was planned. This was planned. This person knew Donald Trump's schedule, knew where he would be and when he would be there on the golf course, or he just laid in wait in the bushes where he was, and that's where he was. He was hiding in the bushes as a sniper. This pro-Ukraine, pro-Palestine supporter, this leftist Democrat that has been brainwashed by the mainstream media and the Harris organization, which, by the way, today in Port Charlotte, Florida, we have criminal aliens riding around posing as people that are against Biden, but now they're all against, they have fuck Biden flags all over their trucks and Kamala Harris stickers supporting Kamala Harris here in Port Charlotte, Florida right now. So, we think that something's going to happen tonight in Port Charlotte. We think they're going to make some kind of move, either tonight or sometime this week. Everything's about to kick off. I told you they were going to try to assassinate Trump again by the 16th of this month, and it is right before the 16th when they did this, okay? So, things are getting kind of crazy out here. This is the second attempt on our president's life. Okay, now we're going to listen to the local law enforcement in the area and see what they have to say.
We were notified of that, and we had units here that immediately sealed off the area. Fortunately, we were able to locate a witness that came to us and said, hey, I saw the guy running out of the bushes. He jumped into a black Nissan, and I took a picture of the vehicle and the tag, which was great. So we had that information. Our real-time crime center put it out to the license plate readers, and we were able to get a hit on that vehicle on I-95 as it was headed into Martin County. We got a hold of Martin County Sheriff's Office, alerted them, and they spotted the vehicle and pulled it over and detained the guy. After that, we took the witness that witnessed the incident, flew him up there, and he identified as the person that he saw running out of the bushes and jumped into the car.
Absolutely.
Now, in the bushes where this guy was.
Okay, so I'm going to pause right there because that's the same information I gave you guys earlier today. He was hiding in the bushes with a firearm pointed at Donald Trump. Secret Service saw him and shot.
7-style rifle with a scope. 2 backpacks which were hung on the fence that had ceramic tile in them, and a GoPro, which he was going to take pictures of. So those are being processed right now. The Secret Service agent that was on the course did a fantastic job. What they do is they have an agent that jumps one hole ahead of time to where the president was at. And he was able to spot this rifle barrel sticking out of the fence and immediately engage them.
Let's pause and speak. So there's one of two things this could be. This could be Secret Service did a phenomenal freaking job. Awesome. They saved our president's life. Wonderful. Horrible part, somebody tried to take our president's life again. Not good. The second thing, where we can run down the rabbit hole and get into the conspiracies of the 5D chess, the conspiracy of this could be, hey, it looks like the Secret Service did such a phenomenal job. A random guy hiding in the bushes, just a barrel sticking through the fence, the Secret Service saw this and took their shots. Now, if you want to run down the rabbit hole and look at it as a conspiracy, we can say maybe they set this one up too, and to make the Secret Service look like, oh, we're protecting the crap out of Donald Trump. Look, we stopped a would-be second assassin before it even happened, when he had a long-distance scope and an AK-47. Not an AR-style rifle, like the fake news media has been saying. So, all of the videos I posted earlier, this video here is factually verifying everything I said, to the letter. So, we could look at it like the fact that this is the second attempt. Secret Service might have been in on this one, or someone in the DOJ might have been in on this one, because the FBI was there like that, weren't they? They're never like that. It's usually hours later you hear from the FBI. Within 10 to 15 minutes, the FBI was already speaking and posting on their website about the Trump assassination, and they had already started an investigation 15 to 20 minutes into the assassination. That's unheard of for the FBI. They never act like that. Either that, or they realize, we better get on board or we're going to be effed here soon. So, we can look at it both ways. Either the Secret Service set this one up to make it look like they were doing such a good job, that way if another attempt happens, they could say, oh, but we were protecting Donald Trump during the second assassination attempt. It was smooth sailing. We saw it before it happened, which was a really unlikely situation because they're saying it was 300 to 500 yards away, but with a long-distance scope and an AK-47 style rifle. And if you go in and look at the would-be shooters, well, the foiled assassins profiles, he's pro-Palestine, pro-Ukraine, militant leftist that runs around in body armor with American flag stuff on. So he sees himself as a militant person, obviously. He supports terrorists. He supports a war that has nothing to do with us and sending billions of dollars to another country. He supports Kamala Harris. Have you seen his hair? He's a 58-year-old man with half blue hair. Clearly supports the LGBTQ situation. So the fake news media, mainstream media, have brainwashed this person. This administration has brainwashed this person into thinking it's okay. He went out with ceramic tiles. If you don't know, if he had a kickstand or something like that, he can use those ceramic tiles to stabilize his firearm so he has a flat surface to shoot on, because he's in the bushes. There might be roots, there might be all kinds of stuff around. There's several different reasons you could be taking ceramic tiles. He also had a GoPro, so he could video record himself with the GoPro killing the president. Okay? This man was looking for his 15 minutes of fame as well. But the fact that they're so brainwashed, they're trying to kill people, and the fact that the mainstream media still now, after the facts have been put out, are saying it might have been an assassination attempt. It was an AR-style rifle, which we knew from the beginning. It was an AK-47, not the same firing system, not the same rifle at all. Okay, they're saying he wasn't on the golf course. He was on the outskirts of the golf course. No, he was on the golf course with a rifle pointed at our president, and the Secret Service agent saw it through, saw the rifle barrel, and fired at him, and he ran away. Let's continue with this guy speaking right here. Now, YouTube, all of the things I've put out are right here from the local law enforcement. We'll back up just a little bit. Here we go.
An agent that jumps one hole ahead of time to where the president was at. And he was able to spot this rifle barrel sticking out of the fence and immediately engage that individual, at which time the individual took off. So that's what we know about the investigation. We have somebody in custody right now that is a potential suspect. We got a little bit more work to do on it, but as we usually do, As soon as we decide that we're going to book him into the county jail and the charges that he's going to be booked into, we'll get those to you and we'll get a picture of him and we'll get you his background. So now I'm going to turn it over to the representative of the Secret Service, and he's going to make a brief statement.
So we know this guy's going to talk out of his ass. So let's talk about what this sheriff just said. Let's recap what this sheriff just said. Okay, mainstream media, fake news, reports the opposite of what law enforcement in the community just verified. Okay, so social media personalities like me and other people, right when this happened, we happen to live in Florida and we know people in Mar-a-Lago. So we had people run down there and get information for us immediately. So we were able, the moment this happened, to release what this guy just released from some of the witnesses that were there. Because there was more than one, but they're only talking about one for some reason. There was like 4 or 5 witnesses on the scene that saw the car drive away, that saw the guy come out of the woods. They might have taken off before the cops got there. Because from what I've been told, it took the cops about 10 to 15 minutes to even get there. So a few different things happened within those 10 to 15 minutes. The guy had time to get from the bushes to his car, put all of his stuff in the bushes before he left and hide it, because he didn't take the guns or the backpacks with him. He took the gun with him and left the backpacks in the bushes, which had the GoPro and the 2 ceramic tiles in it. Okay, the AK-47 shoots a 7.62, which is a high caliber firearm, which is what many people in the military would use for long distance shooting. Very, very well, especially if it's got a scope on it. So this isn't just a regular AK-47, because a Russian AK-47 or anything like that would be difficult to attach a scope to. So he had a modern AK-47 type rifle. Might have been some kind of AR style 308 rifle, but from what we know, it's an AK-47. So it's a modified AK-47 with a REL system on it that he can put a scope on. So with a long distance scope, 350 to 400 yards is nothing for a AK-47. That's nothing. Okay, it's a very high caliber bullet. Donald Trump would have absolutely died if one of those bullets would have hit him, more than likely. If one of those bullets would have got a good shot on him, he would have passed away today. So, what we have to understand is, right now, also while that's happening, 5 churches have been attacked today by criminal aliens. Nobody's talking about that. This is what's on the news. Of course, this is what's on the news. This is what needs to be on the news. But everywhere you go, I want you to look around your town right now. And I want you to see, if when you go to your local stores that are busy right now on a Sunday, if there isn't a bunch of people sitting there like they're planning something. Because in my community, we've got criminal aliens riding around with F. Biden flags on them, flying right now, and Kamala Harris stickers on the back. And they're actually looking like, from the outside of their vehicle, that they're on our side. But then they get out, they don't speak English, and boy howdy, do they not like Americans at all. So just be careful, be situationally aware. I told you guys 3 months ago, by the 16th of this month, somebody's going to try to assassinate our president a second time. Well, guess what, guys? What's today's date? It's the 15th. I was 1 day off on my prediction. It's the 15th. I was 1 day off on my prediction. So maybe people will start trusting my sources, since, 20 minutes after this happened, I told you everything that the police just released. Stop watching mainstream media. Go to, if it's not me, I get it. I've got crappy technology right now since all my shit got wiped out. I've got crappy technology. I will get my videos back up to par. But for more and more information that I collect on this, because there's more to go on this. This guy is alive. They have him to interrogate him. The Secret Service has this guy. So we're gonna get information. There's gonna be a chance to see this person on TV live. And this person, I guarantee you, once they find out they're screwed and they're going to life for prison over this, they're going to speak. They're going to talk. They're going to let us know exactly what happened. We already know they're a lefty. We already know they're a pro-terrorist, pro-Ukraine. We know everything about this person. They didn't hide any of their social media. They didn't hide who they were. They were very out and about with it this time. Okay, all of the pictures you find of this person are very militant online. Wesley Roth, you were a piece of crap. You were a scumbag human being. And you did this in Florida. I tried to warn you guys. I mean, Florida, it never happened here. This is where it happened, was Florida. And I told you, they're going to try to kill Trump in Florida, didn't I? And they did. Look at what they're doing to Laura Loomer right now. Love you, girl. It's been a long time since we've talked. And that's because our Republican headquarters are closed here. I want to put that out there as well. We have no representation for the Republican Party in Southwest Florida, guys. Get out here and campaign for your communities if you live in Florida. I'm the only one out here campaigning in my town because the old people don't vote if they don't know who to vote for. This is what you guys need to understand. This is the most... Look at what's happening. This is unprecedented. This is historical. This is like the fall of Nazi Germany historical. This is World War I, World War II historical. This is the second time. The second time they've tried to assassinate our freaking president, bro. And just a few months from each other. 2 months! 2 months! So every 2 months are they going to try to kill our president? Well, that's freaking crazy. And then you've got the head of the DOJ that's already said, it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter if Trump gets into office or not in November. We're still just going to go after him and arrest him and remove him from office. Wake up. They're telling you what the fuck they're going to do. They're telling us to our faces on live TV what they're going to do in this election, and nobody's paying attention. Are you waking up now? A second attempt on our president. Churches got attacked today that's not even being reported on yet. Okay, all kinds of crazy violent events have happened today. So, have you seen the news coming out of Ohio after they dropped those 20,000 Haitians off? They replaced a third of their entire population of that community. 20,000 people added to a community that only has 58,000 people in it. That's insanity. That's an army. 20,000 people? That's a massive army, bro. Think about in Caesar times and stuff like that. They were lucky to have 2,000 people. That's what's that? 4 battalions? That's 4 battalions. 5,000 or more? That's a battalion, brother. They have enough where they could split off 2 battalions just out of that city. Do you know how much damage you can do with 5,000 people? Honestly, do you know how much damage you can do in this country right now with 20,000 people? Oh my God, bro. You could take over entire cities with 20,000 people. The cops can't do anything. They would have to send the military and the militias in. They would have no choice. Who's crying? I'm excited. I'm happy. Because if you keep attacking like this, and we get to... That's a massive, massive army. I don't know emojis, just so everybody knows. So, I don't know what these emojis mean. That is a massive freaking army. And that's just in one city. Look at all the millions that are here in Florida right now. Look around Port Charlotte. If you live in Port Charlotte, where I'm at, look around your freaking town when you're driving around during the day. Go to Wawa and just sit there for about 3 hours. And you're going to see at least 400 added individuals just in that one place in one day come through there that aren't in this country legally. And you can clearly tell by the way they act, they don't like Americans. They will argue with you if you can't understand what they're saying. They will get violent if you won't do commerce with them. Get violent with me, that's fine. The reason I'm in this community doing what I'm doing, formula for catastrophe is what's going on here. Catastrophe. They're outright killing us and attempting to kill our president, and nobody's doing a fucking thing about it. That's what you don't understand. Do you know why when you go to a rally and you're a patriot and there's only 5 of you standing against 100 pro-Palestine people and 100 Donald Trump haters? Do you know why they take up for them? Because they'll gather 100,000 people and march on that police department. And the Republicans won't. They won't do anything, as a matter of fact. They will put their hands together, say, put the dildo in my ass, officer, and handcuff me at the same time and take me to jail. That's what we're doing, when we should be doing what they're doing. We don't have to be violent, but the reason they get what they want is because when the spoiled child throws a temper tantrum, the government says, well, we can do the right thing here and arrest the terrorist, or we can take these law-abiding citizens and put them in freaking prison because they won't come to our house and threaten our families, and they won't make it to where we can't do our jobs and get us fired. That's the difference. People are like, well, the left ain't shit. Well, you know what? I don't see 100,000 Republicans uniting together anywhere in America during all of this. At all. The only time we unite is when we go to a Trump rally and there's like 45,000 of us. They met at the Capitol and did an actual insurrection after October 7th with 100,000 pro-Palestine terrorists in our country. They shut down California and turned it into communist China for the Chinese Communist Party to come to our country. Our enemies were on our soil being celebrated. They're violently attacking us. They're trying to kill us. They're trying to kill our president. And everybody's just sitting back like, it's all right. Trump will get voted into office and it'll all be over. Well, that's retarded. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. When I hear people say that, I want to slap you, because that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. If you think any of this is not going to just get exacerbated and absolutely worse when our president wins in a landslide all 50 states, then you're smoking crack with Hunter Biden, because it's going to get extremely violent through the government and through these domestic terrorists. And we are actually on lists. That's the funny thing. While these people are killing people, eating cats, eating ducks out of ponds, all of the cats in my community that were strays are gone since these people started coming here. All you got to do is put two and two together. Because we feed the cats and we nurture them and we take care of them because they kill our tree rats. We don't have any more and we're getting overran by rats. Eat the freaking rats. How about that, guys? Eat all the rats in our community. That'd be great. We will celebrate that because we hate them in Florida. They tear our shit up. So they're shipping them by the thousands and thousands to your communities right now. And they're preparing for something massive. I'm telling you right now, between now and next month, we haven't even hit the October surprise yet, guys. Do you understand this? The largest, most massive, historic events have happened in the past 4 months, back to back to back to back to back. Every single month for the past, really, 3 years with Donald Trump, we've had the most historic events in the history of America. That they've done the craziest shit. And they just keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it. If you're a law-abiding citizen that goes to a school board meeting like me and stands up, tree rats, absolutely. The palm trees are a great place for rats to nest in Florida, and we get massive rats all over the place here. And when people are in the woods at night and they're camping in Florida, and you think those are squirrels and raccoons in the trees, no, those are big-ass rats that every once in a while just drop right down on you when you're walking through the woods. But anyway, I digress because of your comment, Malcolm. They are building armies and coming after us when you can't even get 10 Trump supporters to stand together in one community right now. They said, we got to look out for our families. How are you going to look out for your family when there's an army of 20,000 people that are all on the same page together in your community? How are you going to look out for your family then? You know what I mean? There's nothing more to know about this assassination attempt. We know everything. We have the guy alive. So they're going to interrogate him. They're going to get information. But what we need committees of private citizens to hold these tyrants to accountability. Because like I said, I gave you the 3 options earlier. I gave you the second option, which was the conspiracy theory about this. The first assassination attempt was horrible through the Secret Service. They had to redeem themselves. So they did this one, and miraculously, the guy was hiding in the bushes, and all you could see was a barrel 350 yards away, because you're walking down the security ahead of Trump golf course. So he's a hole ahead of Trump each time to check out the area. So they haven't released if you had a rangefinder or a scope. That's a pretty good distance for your eyeballs to see. This guy's got like some 15-15 vision, not 20-20 vision. Okay, so for him to be able to see this rifle, pop, 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 take his 3 shots. That's what my sources have said. 3 shots. Dude, I am livid. I'm livid. I need you guys. I need people. I need the 6 of you that are watching this right now. If you believe in what I'm talking about and you believe that something crazy is about to happen, I need you to share this. I need you to push this everywhere you can so people will come watch the channel. The more people I get watching the channel, the better my content will get again. I'll eventually get back to where we have the green screen and we have somebody doing editing and everything looks good again and sounds good. But for right now, it's just my cell phone and my laptop and me. So, thank God I have this nice phone with an 8K camera, so at least it's decent quality when I'm doing things. But the more people share and help out, which is what we're supposed to be doing, period, as patriots with each other. It doesn't even matter if we like each other. We have to agree to disagree with this, to agree to disagree if we disagree, and agree to agree and stand together. Do you understand? Because those of us that truly love our country, that truly care about our country, the 3%ers, the patriots, the berserkers for this country, need to hold all of this to accountability. Because the reason I speak at school board meetings is because when it comes right down to it, the indoctrination of the children and the brainwashing of the children is what destroys the country. Because once all of this is over with us, that's it. We're the last generation. Me and my generation, you guys, us, that are my age, around 42, we're the last generation that wasn't indoctrinated by these pedophiles and these terrorists and these absolute communist Marxists. They stepped right past socialism and went straight to communism, assassination attempts, shutting down elections, and just absolutely trying to take over the country dictatorially. Kamala Harris has already said, you've got 90 days to pass mandatory gun buybacks or I will sign it into executive order like the dictator I am. You can't sign an executive order against the Second Amendment, you ding-a-ling. Technically, according to the Constitution, you can't even sign an amendment to change the Second Amendment like they have. The Second Amendment is the only amendment that does not have an amendment clause attached to it. It's the only amendment that says shall not be infringed. A well-regulated militia being necessary for the freedom. Okay, being necessary. It's the only amendment that's put there to protect all other amendments. So, it's just crazy the way things are going. That's a massive problem. Listen, until the 3% are willing to actually speak out and do something, because the 3% would be what, like 10 million, 20, depending on the size of the group, 10 to 20 million people here in America, 10 to 15 million people. That's a pretty massive swath of people. That's a lot of people, man. And if they actually come together and become brothers and get ready to stand together in any type of emergency situation. If you just stand with your community is going to be fine. Where you're at is going to be fine. Do you understand that? We don't have to protect the world. We have to protect the people that we love and care about in our community. And then we have to teach the people in the community next to us to love and protect the people in that community. We have to have business owners in our local communities that are willing to come together with the people that are willing to fight and take the attempts on their lives and get out here and do everything it takes, no matter how much you get attacked, to be willing to support and help with land and stuff like that. You know, this shit's expensive and I ain't got nothing. I'm a nothing nobody. I've been cancel cultured and vandalized and attacked to the point where I ain't got shit. But I don't care about monetary things. I care about you guys. I care about this country. I care about Jesus Christ. That's about it for, well, this is what I care about the most in the world right now. In the world. You notice I say, Jesus isn't in the world. Yes, she's my baby, and I love her with all my heart. Anyone ever tried to hurt my dog, you better be ready to fight me when you come to take me to prison, cops, because anyone ever tries to hurt her, that's going to be a bad day for them. That's all we have to do, though. We have to stand for the ones that we care about. People say they don't want to get involved because they have kids they have to worry about. Well, if you don't get involved now and shit does hit the fan, then you got no one to fight with you or help you when your kids need you the most. Sacrifice a little now or sacrifice everything later. That's pretty simple, right? On the right hand, oh, hey, look at that. On the right, you could either sacrifice a little now to save the future for your children, or you sacrifice everything in the long run and not have the guaranteed safety for your children. Okay, we have a 140-acre farm for sale on the other side of Port Charlotte right now, off of 31. That's prime hog hunting land, prime all kinds of stuff. Fresh water sources, massive food sources, cattle, all kinds of stuff. If we were patriots, then we would come together and we would find a way to get that property, and then people like me that are willing to give up everything and go out there and work that property and have it ready and knows how to take that property and make an investment off of it as well, so we can have money and have more things that we need on that property and have somewhere to train, somewhere to take your kids and teach them how to work the land, teach them how to, just do life skills, real skills that will save your life. We have engineers come out, teach them how to work on combustion engines, teach them how to build steam engines, because when shit hits the fan situation, steam engines are the way to go. You can power everything. You know what I mean? You can have functioning power if shit hits the fan with steam engines, with coal engines and stuff like that. Okay, so we get people together and we make sure our community's safe. And also, if we had the compound, the farm, the ranch, which is what I'd rather call it, a ranch, we wouldn't be spending an extra $1,000 a month in food, because we would have food to sell, to help homeless veterans and homeless people, to distribute, to eat fresh eggs, fresh milk, fresh everything. Damn the government if they tell us we can't eat the way we're supposed to, our God-given right to eat food from the land. You know what I mean? I'm willing to be the Bundy Ranch if it has to be. I'm willing to be that guy. I'm willing to take the brunt of every bit of this, all the hardship, all the attacks, all the everything, and do this. I'm willing. I'm ready. There are people that are united with us. There are people that stand with us. Are they willing to be out here and about like I am? No, but they do come train when things are copacetic for them. But we need people that are dedicated to the country, to the cause, to keeping our communities safe, to keeping our families safe, to keeping our schools safe, our churches safe. Do you know what I mean, guys? Because this was on our home turf. If you're from Florida like me, this was on our home turf that just happened. What? In my local community, we used to have 25 militias within a 15-mile radius from here. Now the Oath Keepers have disappeared, the Proud Boys shut down, they don't train together. All these places calling themselves militias or patriots or groups or whatever, they're not actually coming together and training even once a week. So you can't call yourself a militia if you don't train. A well-regulated militia, meaning the regular army back then, so the militia was the army at the time, because it was the people of the towns and local communities standing up. A lot of times it was just 5, 10, 20 people at a time taking areas and just defending their homes. These people would carry massive bags of muskets because they didn't have machine guns. So they would fire, pop, pick up another one, fire, pop. You know, that's how they defended their communities. They stood together. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But they're not holding it down. They're just running a ranch now. You know, they're just running a ranch now. They were never a militia. It was just a farmer that the government decided to say something, and everybody in the community came together and stood against those FBI agents. But those weren't savage criminal aliens. They were just going in and maliciously shooting people. That's what you have to understand. Those were not just malicious, savage people that just want you dead. Okay, that was the FBI kind of, yeah, they're malicious and they want you dead, but there was massive news coverage for that. There was all kinds of, that wasn't an emergency situation. That was a legal situation, and the ranchers didn't back down, and so the FBI had to. There was so much national news coverage, but when the gang members and the thousands of people that they've sent into your communities do their thing, you don't have those people to just come running to you. Do you know how long it took for all those people to that thing went on for weeks, man. That was like, I was out in Arizona when that was all happening. There was people, I mean, we were watching it nonstop. You know, they were coming in, but it wasn't immediate. We need a situation to where if they do just drop 20,000 freaking Haitians that are violent and extreme into our community, we can say, oh, hey, no, we're not doing that here. If our law enforcement won't protect us, we have to protect ourselves. Do you know the 5 towns that decided to say F the cops when they stopped responding and armed their citizens, and they're walking the streets every day and every night armed? Do you know that their crime rates went away? Do you know that the murders and the violence stopped? Do you know that they got rid of the criminal aliens in their communities? Because they stood up and they protected their communities. There are five towns. I'll look them up and post all the information about that for you on here. But this was started last year. You know, it started with one community standing up, walking their community armed, and they literally got rid of the violence in their community. Within the first week, their violence and their crime dropped 35%. Because the citizens were taking care of their communities. Okay, that's all we have to do. We don't have to be violent. You just have to be prepared and know what you're doing. And to the best of my ability, if there's anything I can do for you, I will. Okay? That's all there is. If I can't do it, I'll just say, hey, sorry, I can't do that. I don't have the means to. But if I can, I help as many people as I possibly can everywhere I go. It's what we're supposed to do right now. This is not America that we live in. Everybody's like, oh, well, we'll just have another election. We don't have elections anymore. Have you not noticed that? We don't have elections anymore. They brought in 22 plus million criminal aliens, and every state that they've moved to has a clause, except for 1 or 2 that have made it illegal for criminal aliens to get driver's license in their states, like Florida. It was front page of the paper for a month, and nobody even knows that Ron DeSantis left a loophole open in the immigration bill here that allowed criminal aliens to get driver's license and register to vote this entire time. They can't do anything about that. If they require driver's license to vote, they have it in this state. What are they going to do, revoke it? No, we need to require a birth certificate and social security card, like I've said many times. Birth certificate and social security card to vote. Because if they're just giving out driver's license to criminal aliens, what does voter identification even do? Because in Florida, just so you know, if you're not in Florida, when you go get your driver's license, they look at you and they say, hey, do you want us to just register you to vote right now? And you say, yes, and you're registered to vote. They say Republican or Democrat, you say either one, and there you are. It's done. Okay, so I can't go to the DMV and get a driver's license without a birth certificate or a social security card. So how are these people doing it? You know, e-verification is the law we got in Florida. You know what that does? Nothing. Because if they have a driver's license, then they're a legal citizen of Florida and they just get that job. But guess what it does do? Every time you as an American citizen go to apply for a job, you were ran through the e-verification system, which puts all of your information in the federal government. It's a federal registry. That's what e-verification is. It's a federal registry. So everyone in Florida that applies for a job, that applies for a business license, a county license, you are now put in the federal registry. Congratulations, free Florida citizens. You're now in a federal registry. And you wonder how they're going to know. Oh, how do they know who's going to have guns and who doesn't? Because you're now in a fucking federal registry. That's how. They have all your information. They know where you live, who you're talking to, you know, who's in your social media accounts, where your friends live. That's what e-verification does. So it only works if they don't have driver's license and they don't have legal identification for the state. That's the only way e-verification stops a criminal from getting a job. That's it. So if there's a loophole left and they were allowed to get driver's license, then e-verification does nothing. How about we just enact the freaking Constitution that all of you officers and all of you politicians take an oath to? How about we just do that, Florida? You say, well, we don't have jurisdiction for federal government? That's dumb. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You take an oath to the Constitution. Criminal aliens are criminals via the Constitution. Your job is to stop criminals under the Constitution. Am I the only one that is like, my mind's blown that they say they don't have jurisdiction, but they take an oath to uphold the Constitution to the letter? Does anyone else? They're like, well, we can arrest them, but then we just got to let them go. No, you can arrest them. You can ship them the fuck out of city limits like you do homeless people. How about that? You'll take a homeless American citizen, you'll ship them outside of the city limits and tell them good luck, start walking that way to the next city and let them deal with it. But you won't do that for criminal aliens that walk around your community with machetes and get violent. And when you come interact with them, law enforcement, they get violent with you and you just don't do anything. We're not Border Patrol. So listen, it's just gonna get more violent from here. Everything I've said, if you go through and watch my videos, has happened, and it's going to continue to happen. It's going to get worse. More gangs are going to stand up, and they're going to start taking more shit, which they already are. Since the Aurora, Colorado thing happened, you do understand Chicago, California, and 2 other states have now had things taken over by these Venezuelan gangs as well, right? They're taking over entire cities, entire communities right now. We've got Haitians taking over entire communities right now. You notice they're sending them by the thousands all in one shot to small towns. Try that in a small town. Well, they're trying it in small towns and nothing's fucking happening. That's what they're seeing. That's the weakness they see. What's up, brother? Hey, Peter, what's up, man? Long time no see. I guess because I was off of here. I've almost got everything back from YouTube, everything, but not yet. I still got it, well, Google. As soon as they break Google up, I'll be able to get paid again. But this is just getting nuts. What are they saying now about the Trump assassination attempt? Let's see how much bullshit the mainstream fake news is talking about right now. Because man, I was so disappointed when I think there was one other person besides me that broke this. I think I broke it like 15 minutes after them and they did, from what I could see. Yeah, the Rumble thing is just weird. Unless you pay money on Rumble, they don't give you views. And I get it, Chris, I love you, brother. I love you, man. But it's just, there's no way to get... I've had 3 different channels on Rumble. I have a channel on Rumble. I post there sometimes. They fixed a lot of the problems they had, but there's just no traffic. People will not even, unless you're a big head on social media, people won't even go look at your stuff. They don't prioritize small accounts. I haven't been able to get back. Like I'm starting to get back out here on YouTube now. My presence is getting known again because I'm doing lives here and there. I did the debate live. I'm doing this live. But it's, once they've canceled you and demonetized you, people think they're demonizing you. No, they demonetize you, which means they put you outside of the algorithm to where no matter what your tags are, I could put Kamala Harris is awesome, and I won't get 10 views on it in 2 days, and then all of a sudden I'll get 1,000 views and then down. Like today on all my videos, I'm getting like 5,000 views. Anyone that's been on my channel for a long time I mean, I used to, we would have 1,500 people on here right now 4 years ago. Being 44 minutes in, we'd already have 1,500 people on. And then we keep going until we had enough and then get the heck out of here, But Google AdSense itself demonetized me and took my monetization off of YouTube. YouTube will let me get super chats and stuff. I can turn that on here, but I can't get the money from there to my account, and then they'll just take your money after 90 days. So, I mean, there's no point in that. Every time I attach my cash tag to the bottom of the description, they ban that video. Like, it only gets to stay up for a couple weeks and then they ban it. But I do have to say, and I'll be honest about this, I get banned less on YouTube now than I do on X. I get banned on X so often it's not even funny. I get banned for violent hate speech for the literal words I said were, I do not condone violence, but communism is an ideology that's killed more people than any other ideology, so communists deserve a smack in the mouth. I got banned for violent hate speech. Every other day, if I post on X, I get a community guideline strike for comments, for bullying, for just speaking my mind. And when that happens, I just don't even post to those places anymore. I post a lot on Telegram, Port Charlotte Trump Club on Telegram, Port Charlotte Trump Club on Telegram. Facebook finally let me back on. I have the Port Charlotte Trump Club group on Facebook, but I honestly haven't even looked at it in so long it's not even funny. Because Zuckerbucks owns it, so I don't give a shit about that. And then other than that, I'm on YouTube, guys, so everything's just getting freaking weird out here. I'm about to start doing a podcast, because I think if people could see my voice and not this ugly mug right here, if there was just a logo of this and my voice, and then you could see what the news is over here, I think that might be better. You know what I mean? Because then they can't see. Like, normally, I'd have my American flag behind me right now, but, I mean, I didn't have time to set it. I wasn't even going to go live today. It's Sunday. And then they tried to kill my president again, and I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm going to go live. I made a bunch of videos directly after it happened. And, other than one other person, me and that guy were the first two to post anything about this. And we both posted similar stuff, but just off a bit. His source was coming from one place, and my source was coming from the Secret Service and the FBI's website. So the news source that he had and the information I had were a little different. I've got a friend that lives in Mar-a-Lago, and he was in the area at the time. He gave me some information too. Like, when they were saying that the Trump shooter wasn't on the property, fake media was saying that, I was already reporting that the guy was pointing the gun at Donald Trump through the fence of the golf course. So he was actually on the golf course. He was pointing a gun, hiding in the bushes when the Secret Service agents saw him. And then I went live once that information I posted was verified facts through the law enforcement news briefing. And then I played the law enforcement news briefing, and you could see that all of my information from the beginning was right, and mainstream media are just a bunch of outright liars. Because once again, they tried to make it look like nothing really happened, nothing was going on. Oh, there wasn't a guy with an AK-47 with a long scope. No, it was an AR-style rifle, and he was shooting. At first, in case you don't know, mainstream media reported two guys were shooting at each other down the road from the golf course. Then it was someone might have been shooting, the FBI, the Secret Service might have shooted back, allegedly this and that. Then they started saying it might be an assassination attempt. Now, we knew from the beginning it was an actual assassination attempt. The very first information that was released was it was AK-47 with a scope. Then we found out he had a backpack with a GoPro set up ready to record him killing the president with 2 ceramic tiles. People would be like, well, why did he have ceramic tiles? Many different reasons. He could have had one to set up the tripod for his GoPro as a level place to set it. He could have had a tripod on the firearm. They haven't released that information yet. I'm assuming he would have had a tripod on it to get stabilization, but he was also using the chain link fence as stabilization as well. So he might not have had a tripod. But flat surfaces, there's all different types of reasons that a sniper can use ceramic tiles for. But the fact that they found the weapon, they found him, he's alive. Let's see what happens out of this. Because since he's alive, this will be the first time they've taken one of these people alive. Think about it. So, normally they just kill him. So that's another reason I'm thinking they might not have had anything to do with it, because they actually took the guy alive. If they had something to do with it, they probably would have killed the guy. But, I mean, we know they did. It's MK Ultra. That's what they did. That's what they had to do with it. They brainwashed the dude through the media. When you tell an entire generation of extremists that the sitting president is Hitler, people don't take into account how fucked up that is to say about somebody. That's like saying he's the devil. That's like saying he's actually the devil. Okay? He's Hitler. Who wouldn't want to take out Hitler? You know what I mean? If we had someone that was actually Hitler in our country, I think a lot of people would be actually going out and trying to do something. But they spit all of these horrible things about Trump. Oh, he's now a felon because we had bullshit charges against him. Everything they've done against this man has failed. Every single thing. So if you say he's not protected by God, then there's just a series of the most horrific circumstances that have ever happened, and he's come out sunshiny clean with a fresh wiped butthole the whole time. No, no, that makes no sense. Now, what does make sense is the first attempt was absolutely planned and absolutely set up by the DOJ. That's my opinion. That's what I believe. I believe it was set up by the DOJ 100%. I believe Secret Service had something to do with it. I believe that was all thing. That's my opinion. Okay? If it turns out we do end up finding out through Donald Trump's investigation, because if you don't think Donald Trump has investigations of his own going on all this, if you don't think Donald Trump have people that support him inside this military and inside this government, then you're smoking dope, because Donald Trump's been King Ding-a-ling since the 70s, bro. This isn't just he started running for president and he got famous. This is one of the most famous people on the fucking planet. You know what I mean? Since the 70s. Like Oprah Winfrey in the 80s and 90s was begging him to run for office, begging him to run for president, asking him. And if you watch his old videos, exactly the things he says now is exactly how the things he still says. He's never changed. It's always been consistent. We're going to run the country like a business. We're going to bring the economies back. We're going to bring industrialism back. We're going to bring safety back. We're going to be a tough nation. We're not going to be cowards. We're going to be tough. And we're going to bomb the shit out of anybody that wants to mess with us. You want our money over here? No. Take care of yourself. If you don't like that, we'll put tariffs on all your shit where you can't sell anything here. Absolutely. From under your balls, bitch. I'm extremely ADHD, so I don't need drugs to make me do things. I don't even drink alcohol. But I'm dumbfounded. My brain is almost broken at this point. My heart is 100% broken that we have lost this country to communists. That's crazy. Because look at it this way. We don't have America. You got to stop calling this America, because this isn't America. We have no border. We have no leadership. Our economy's fucked. We can't afford anything. Can't buy houses. The housing market in Florida is crashing right now. Real estate agents are just so pissed off right now because Ron DeSantis did all this crap, and now we're screwed now that it's catching up with us. So we have the highest inflation in the nation right here in Florida. It's just getting nuts everywhere. Everywhere. Look at what's happening in the cities on a daily basis. New York, 2 days ago, they found families slaughtered in their house by criminal aliens. Whole family slaughtered inside their house. The criminal aliens caught the house on fire after they killed them. Nobody's hearing about that, are they? Nobody's hearing about the 32 churches in America that have been attacked in the past week by leftist radicalists and pro-Palestine people and stuff like that. You're not hearing about it because the mainstream media is not covering it, and social media, for some reason, isn't covering a lot of it. Every once in a while, you'll see something here, something there. But for the majority part, there are mass casualty events in our nation every single day at this point, on a daily basis. Right after the Atlanta shooting happened, 2 more mass shootings happened the day after and the day after that. Nobody talked about those shootings. Nobody. And it's getting dumb. It's getting to the point where you got to look over your shoulder everywhere you go now. Because these people, that they get mad because we can't understand them. Do you know that English is the second language in America now? They have deemed English the second language in America. When I went to Walmart the other day, all of their printer boxes and laptop boxes were in freaking Spanish. Not a word of English on any of them. I took a video of that. We have food disappearing from the stores like crazy. They can't get food anymore. I've posted videos about that. I've posted talking to managers verifying that they just no longer can get these things. We're just going to have to get used to having less in America. Our country is literally falling apart. It's done. It's falling apart. There's no coming back from where we're at right now. You guys do understand that, right? The best we can hope for is to stop it where it is and rebuild. That's what we have to do. We have to stop it now, because if this communist steals this election or creates a mass casualty event, which is what we think, some kind of big swan event's going to happen here soon. Some big black swan event. It's looking like it's going to be the Russia thing. If you aren't paying attention, NATO's talking about invading Russia right now. Actually invading Russia. China and Russia, once again, just a few days ago, got caught off of the Alaskan coast. You didn't hear anything about that, though, did you? This time they were testing their new skip missile system. Which, if you don't know about that, they found a way to skip their hypersonic missiles in midair to make them hit exactly where they want them. That's insane. If you understand anything about that, that's insane, brother. That the new stuff they're coming out with to attack us, we don't have the technology to stop it. I don't know why every day Kamala Harris isn't on TV begging Israel, saying, not begging them, but just demanding, you want our money, you want our help. That new, not the space laser system. Yeah, are you talking about the one with Grady Judd? Which one? There's been a ton here in Florida. Or are you talking about the one that was just right over here in Sarasota the other day? But Grady Judd just did a massive one too. That's my hometown. I'm from Polk County, Florida. I'm a Lakeland boy originally. Oh, in GA. I'm sure it's getting bad. Listen, that's what another thing all these criminal aliens do. They flood massive amounts of horrible drugs. There's this new drug going around called crocodile. If you haven't heard of it, look it up. But the side effects of this stuff is the most insane thing ever. It literally makes your flesh rot off of your body. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Look at these meth addicts, man. They just pick their skin to pieces. How can you enjoy a drug that makes you do that? Smoke a little pot every once in a while, more power to you, man. Best way to sleep at night. But all this heavy shit, dude, crack, heroin, coke, fentanyl is the biggest thing out there right now. That is insanity, dude. The fact that they're finding enough fentanyl in some of these drug busts to kill an entire city of people. Okay, that back in the day in Tampa, Florida, they got a place called Ybor City. Okay, my friend got caught with 2,000 ecstasy pills. We called them rolls, beans, whatever. They were triple stacked euros. If you've ever lived in Tampa in the 90s and you went to Ybor City, you know what that is. Okay, he got caught with 2,000 of them. He got charged with 2,000 counts of manslaughter and went to prison for the rest of his life. Okay, these people are getting caught with fentanyl, which is one of the most dangerous drugs on the planet. Like the tip of this pen right here, the tip of this little thing right here. See how little that is? That's enough fentanyl right there. That little tip of that is enough fentanyl to kill a fully grown 300-pound man. That's insane, bro. So if you accidentally ingest that much fentanyl, that's enough fentanyl to kill like 5 people. That right there. That little bit. That's enough to kill like 5 people. That's crazy, bro. That's insane. But people still do it. I don't get it. I really don't understand it. Drugs have never been my thing. Alcohol's never been my thing. I'm not saying I've never done drugs in my lifetime. That's crazy. That's horrible that it took them 2 years. Because if you guys aren't having problems with these criminal aliens in your community like some of us are, then you don't understand. These people are just out. They're bragging about the fact that they're here. They're bragging that they're taking your shit, basically. They're as loud and open and out and peacocking as much as they possibly can. They're going around actively just fucking trying to cut. They'll walk right in front of you in line at a store. Like, no, motherfucker, get the fuck back over here. But most of you people let them do it. That's the most insane thing I've ever seen. Like when you people are talking this mad shit on internet like this, but you'll go in a store and just let them walk all over you. Walk all over you. We're being invaded. Sorry, sir. Get your beer even though you're not supposed to be in my country and you don't have a legal identification to buy it, but they're going to let you. Man, come on, bro. Well, I love you guys. I love everybody out here. Like I said, each week I'll be going live more and more and more. Once I get this technology figured out on my computer, we'll just be doing picture-in-picture with the content again. But until I can fix my brain or find somebody that knows how to edit videos and help me out until we get back out there again, then it's just going to have to be what it is. Well, and the sad part of that is that's probably just a drop in the bucket. A drop in the bucket. What? Oh, guys, my ankle's finally fully healed. Hey, I told everybody I would tell y'all when that was finally done. My ankle's finally fully healed from when I got shot at the pro-Palestine rally. My head's doing really good. As you can see, it's just a little area right here you can see. I still don't exactly remember what happened. I just have the little bits and pieces of the video that survived from the broken phone. But, yeah, I'm doing better. As you can see, let's see if we can get a better look. My left eye or right eye stays open more than the other eye now. And I got that little scar from where they got me, right there. Boop. The 22 went here and came out over here, and then the other one went here, knocked all the bone off of there and split me open there. And then about the 2 that went through my hand. Most of you do, from the videos I've posted when it happened, when I was still all wrapped up and everything was going on. But even though it was only a 22 that I got hit with, there were 22 longs, and it hurt like hell. And because I didn't know what was going on for a few weeks after it happened, I guess I was told by the guy that owns the music store here that a lot of my stuff was just gone. He said he came back one day while I was in the hospital, and the door was open, so yeah, I've finally been releasing information about that. All of the poison is out of my body completely. Look, you guys can attack me all you want. You can come after me all you want. Until you kill me, you won't stop me. You might stop me in my memory. You might make it to where I don't know who my friends are anymore because you hurt me so bad. But you won't stop me. As long as I can remember who I am, that's all that really matters, right? So, now 2 times in my life, the majority of things I know about my life I've been told by other people. That's fucking awesome. But hey, since they ran all of these drugs and antibiotics and stuff and antifungals and antimicrobials through my body, this is the best I've felt in a long time. The swelling in my brain is gone since they drilled into my head. I still have headaches, but things are starting to clear up and get a little better. You know what I mean? I got access, finally figured out how to get access to one of my bank accounts I couldn't figure out how to get into the other day. So that was nice. I went and bought some meat this weekend, and that was sweet. But other than that, I'm going to be going through either sometime tomorrow or Tuesday, because I got to go do some work for somebody tomorrow, because I got to pay my insurance on my truck before I get shut off. But I'm going to be doing courses with teenagers this week. We're going to be doing self-defense courses, knife courses, and we'll have the fully functional airsoft out doing courses. I made a couple videos in pajamas because earlier today and posted them about how to walk properly when you're moving with your pistol in your hand, because some people were asking me, hey, we're trying to move while we're shooting out here and our bullets are going all over the place. That's because they were walking with their bodies instead of their knees. So I made those videos today. I'm going to get into, since it's starting to get really violent out here, I'm going to start putting some of my old content out again. We're going to be doing some physical training videos. We're going to be doing some CQB training videos, knife course videos, all kinds of different stuff. So I'm going to start getting back, now that my physical health is back to where it's supposed to be after the attack, I am going to start getting some more videos out here. So, sucks though, because I found a bunch of videos. I had all this equipment to do things like make shirts and all this stuff, and I guess I used to have a website and all kinds of shit, but I don't know how to find any of it. And I don't know where any of those machines are. So that's a downside, because once I got back into it, I don't have that phone anymore. So all of the information that was in that old phone of mine, for every customer I had, for every subscriber I had, for all of my bank accounts, all my Google accounts, everything are lost to me. So short of having $1,500 to hire this guy that I found on the internet that will find all of your information for you, I don't know what to do. So we're just going to start afresh from here on out, and I'm going to do my best to learn how to deal with the cameras and all of this. In case you don't know, my best friend brother type guy really breaks my heart. Did some horrible things to my teenage niece, and nobody knows, just mysteriously nobody knows where he is anymore. So yeah, all of the property that was over there, where I've got the videos where I'm working the property and we're building it up and we're getting it ready for what's going on, that's all gone. I lost all that. It was all in his name. He took everything. All of the stuff, all that work I did, all those videos we made together with the rabbits and the chickens and all that land and all that stuff, and how half of it was supposed to be mine because I did all the work and I put all the time in, and all of that, it's all gone. Got none of it. He took every bit of that. And he came and took the lawnmower too. So, yeah, that is what it is. And then my trailer got stolen while I was hurt. So that is what it is. Shitty things have happened in the past few years. For those of you that know my channel and know what I've been through, you understand, hey, I'm sorry. I'm doing my best to stay out here, but they're making it difficult, guys. Look, I'm an hour and 9 minutes into this one. The music is vile and nothing but dope slinging daily. Yeah, that's a problem I have when they say, oh, it's a culture, it's our culture. Motherfuckers, There ain't no black culture before 1985 that was a bunch of just gangbangers raping, killing, doing drugs, and all this shit. There ain't none of that. Before all that, black people were professional and courteous and had the same kind of culture that we did. You know, we all had the same kind of culture. You guys had some different things. We had some different things. That's a thing. You know what I mean? That's what culture is all about. But all this violence and all this savagery where everything has to be dealt with through violence, through theft, through this, because we're so oppressed. You realize you're in America where Native Americans still live here, right? You don't know anything about oppression. Talk about you're oppressed because you were slaves for a little bit. Are you kidding me? Only 1.6% of America owned slaves, and half of those 1.6% of people were black slave owners that had plantations. You know what I mean? It's not all black people were slaves, and not all white people were slaves, because white people were slaves in America, guys. At the same time, black people were slaves. So were Native Americans. So were Asian people. All of us were slaves. You weren't the only slaves. As a matter of fact, the people you're standing up for, the Arabics, were the first people to come to your country and take mass slaves. The Arabics were the first people to go to an African nation and take slaves. And then they took white slaves. Do you understand where the word slave comes from? The word slave comes from the word Slav, okay? Which means Slavic, which means white person. The word slave literally means white person. Do you guys not understand this? Oh my gosh, because savage cultures went to less savage cultures and took their people as slaves. All cultures own slaves. Still to this day, right now in Africa, there are 750,000 slaves. Right now in Africa. And you gotta understand, Africa is a very small populated country. They don't have a lot of people compared to other countries. So when you say 750,000 slaves, that's a lot of freaking people for their population. It's just, it's dumb. Everything has to be through a lens of race. Or, okay, listen, Mao, when he brought communism in, his literal running campaign was, we must unburden ourselves from the burden of the past. Kamala Harris' literal campaign is, we must unburden ourselves. When he brought communism to China, his campaign slogan was literally, we must unburden ourselves from the burdens of the past. Any communist that has tried to turn a country into a communist country has usually run on the fact, because when you unburden yourself from the past, then you can take control of the future and be a democracy, which is actual communism. Nothing about America is a democracy. We're a constitutional republic with democratic elections. No democracy. The only thing about democracy in the forefathers' writings, I was just reading the Federalist earlier today. I had it all pulled up. The only writings about democracy are negative writings saying we should never have a democracy in America. We don't have democracy in elections. It doesn't even make sense. Democracy doesn't make sense. That means that if 10 of you decide you don't want me to have rights anymore, you 10 can go to your local politicians and say, hey, we want to take that guy's rights away. That's communism. That's dictatorship. That's tyranny. You can't do that. This is America. We need to stand together as Americans. We need to love each other. We need to pray with each other. We need to eat with each other. We need to understand that we're all sinners. We need to understand that we all have bad things happening in our lives right now. We need to understand that this is the worst economy we've ever seen in America. This, right now, this is the worst economy we've ever seen. The highest inflation in recorded history right now. Right now. The highest gas prices, the highest everything. Our country's out of control. There's almost as many criminal aliens in our country, in most of these states, that we're literally going to have some kind of totalitarian thing happen where the citizens and the government come together to remove these people. That's going to be the only way. And the only option we're going to have, since so many states have allowed driver's license, including the red states, is we're going to have mass deportation of anyone that doesn't have a birth certificate. And if you don't speak English and you're not assimilated to this country, gotta go. come back and seek the legal way when we have rebuilt our country, and then we start allowing migrants to come in again. Migrants. And just so you people understand, we are not a nation of immigrants. We are a nation of settlers. What is a nation of settlers, you ask? It's people that come to a country and decide, hey, we want a better way of life. So we're going to create a new government. We're going to create America, the land of the free, the home of the Constitution. What do immigrants do? They inherit what we've already built as settlers. That's what immigrants do. So we're not a nation of immigrants. We never have been. We let certain people come over here in the beginning, and we made them assimilate to our culture, to our country. Just like if you go to another country, you have to assimilate to their country, or you're not going to have a good time. Okay, so a requirement, one of the first requirements of asylum seekers is you must learn how to speak English. You must learn how to use American money. You must learn how to do commerce in America. Otherwise, you can't live here comfortably. That's why they only go to, the restaurants they go to are these food trucks and to local criminal alien ran businesses. You don't ever catch any of these criminal aliens in your mom or pop restaurant, do you? Guys, you don't ever go sit down and eat at Denny's and see a bunch of criminal aliens. No, you go and you see 50 of them lined up at a food truck, all sitting there eating together, all coordinated with each other, all living with each other, all knowing what's going on with each other on the same page. Unlike us American citizens on the right, MAGA, patriots, 3%ers, whatever you want to call us, we're human beings that love our country, but we don't love it enough to come stand together with each other and unite with each other. But the people that we call the enemy, the terrorists, the leftist lunatics that can't even wipe their own asses, mommy and daddy still burp them, can come together by the hundreds of thousands and march on our capital and make them do what they want. So, tell me again how the right are the strong ones and the left are the weak ones. Tell me how that works, because the left are the ones getting their way because they're strong enough to get out here and stand with each other and do what needs to be done. And the right are the ones that tolerate, which tolerance is a sin in the Bible, and sit back and get a sour pickle up their butthole every day. So, I mean, I know parents that can't afford to feed their children right now. That's crazy, bro. And at the same time, we can't afford to feed our children. They're shutting down food banks left and right. They're lowering food stamp assistance for American citizens to give to criminal aliens. They're literally taking your country from you, and none of you are doing anything about it, most of you. The majority of people are, you say, well, we're the silent majority. Well, guess what happens to the silent majority? They stay silent and mostly in the ground, okay? Because if you don't get out here and you don't speak out and you're not loud, do you think George Washington just sat back and waited for it to get so bad that he couldn't take it? No, because he was General Washington before he was President Washington. And he was the general of the army. And he did miraculous things. Did it take a long time for us as Englishmen to decide to stand up and rise and actually shoot back? Yes, it took a while. It took about what? Probably 15, 20 years from the start of it to the end of it, or to the first firing shot where we started fighting back for real. But we're far past that now. In this situation, we're far past that. You know, they're outright taking everything from us. Plain and simple. I mean, have you tried to go get a loan recently? Have you tried to pull more than $1,000 out of your bank account recently in cash? In some areas, you can't do that. Hell, in some areas, 3 days a week, 4 days a week right now, you go to the store, you can't even use your debit card because the debit system's down. That happened 3 days last week at Wawa here, and also all 3 days, the same days, Walgreens couldn't take debit cards in Port Charlotte, Florida. None of the ATMs worked. People had to pay in cash. You know what happened? The majority of them left their stuff at the counter and walked out the door because they don't have cash. All they have is plastic or this phone to pay with. I'd never set up anything to pay on my phone because that's the easiest way for people to get your money out of your account. If it's attached to your cell phone It's so easy to hack a cell phone now, it's not even funny. Anyway, I digress. I love you guys. I hope you're all blessed out here. I'm out for the night. How do we do this? Here we go.